I'm Barbara Morgan. I'm the executive director of the Austin Film Festival, and when we started the festival in 1994, I started with another woman named Marsha Milan, and we've been going 19 years now. In the very beginning, we got a call from somebody here, a producer in Austin named Fred Miller, and Fred said, you know, the one area about film that is really not fulfilled in the festival world is the screenwriter. When Fred said, do a festival about screenwriting, I thought, wow, I actually know a couple screenwriters in this little town because we had them here. And then I started to think about it, and I realized almost everybody I knew and hung out with on a regular basis was a writer. They might have had a day job, but they were almost all writers. So what we found was immediately that all of these people desperately wanted to come get together, share their craft, talk about it, and actually were incredibly community oriented, which the film industry is not really known for. So we kind of found a hole in a lot of ways that way, and I'd like to say we were smart enough to figure that out ourselves, but we didn't. It really was some counseling from somebody who had a really great idea, and we discovered very quickly there was a niche, and we stuck with it. Austin is as much of the Austin Film Festival's success as the writer being our niche. And I say that because if we'd have done this in Poughkeepsie, New York, nobody would have come. We did it in Austin, Texas. It was a cool place. In '94, it was a pretty laid-back, cool place. The tech boom had not really happened, and there weren't traffic issues on the road, and who didn't want to come here? Austin was a magic city when I stepped foot here in 1979, and it's still a magic city to me. And I think it's magic to the people who come in for the festival too. And that's what they go back talking about. They talk about the Writers Festival, and they talk about the city of Austin. And we had 7 Academy Award winners in the very first year, from 2 women calling from Austin, Texas, who were not in the film industry and knew nobody. What we found out was actually they liked it. They liked actually participating with the registrants and giving them advice and actually hearing their ideas too. And we also found that the writers who were produced who were coming found it incredibly inspirational. The president of the Writers Guild came in that very first year too, and one of the first things he said was, why are 2 women in Austin, Texas doing this event? Why aren't we doing this in Los Angeles? We are servicing people who are trying to break in the industry, whether that's as writers or writer-directors, or anybody using the language of film, essentially, to communicate. That we're trying to give them a leg up. We're trying to give them an opportunity to learn more about what they want to do it better, and then, when they're ready, show it to people who might actually be able to help them break in. Freedom of creative thought is, I think, hugely important in people's confidence in doing anything, because you learn those people are risk takers. Well, entrepreneurship to some extent is risk taking. My father was an entrepreneur. He had lots of different businesses. He tried lots of things. He wasn't risk averse. He said literally from the time I can remember hearing his voice, do what you love. Just do what you love. And it was a constant message. So to me, that was what I grew up around, a person who did what he loved, and he turned what he loved into a business, or a number of businesses. And he was a really happy guy. And I grew up going to work with my dad, so it wasn't a foreign step for me to take. And my daughter comes to work a lot, which I think there's nothing wrong with. But my husband had to get used to that. We both work and we have a child and we juggle a lot. But I do think, you know, the biggest thing is not really believing you can do it all, just knowing that you're going to have to give some things up. And either to some extent with your business, especially if you're running your own business, or with your family. And you have to make those choices knowingly. To me, entrepreneurship though isn't about like just monetary success. I think it's about life success. I think it's about being able to produce something that has some personal effect for you and may have some for others, and that ultimately makes you happy doing it.